This lesson is about evaluating text and images through critical reading and viewing. According to Nelson Mandela, if you teach a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Critical thinking is the foundation of critical reading and listening. Critical reading and listening go beyond retrieving information from the text because they involve identifying author's purpose and recognizing bias. These goals can be achieved by examining author's choices of content and language. In the workplace particularly, critical listening should be practiced during formal speech events like business presentations and meetings, and even with informal speaking situations, because information exchange between colleagues have to be carefully processed. To be an effective listener in the workplace, the following suggestions are given. Seek for clarification. It is better to clarify before responding to comments or queries that can potentially lead to arguments. Sometimes, messages come in the form of questions, and repeating the questions in the form of a declarative sentence is another way to ensure the message has correctly been interpreted. A quick reply to an emotionally laden comment would sound argumentative or defensive. In such situations, clarifying the speaker's intent would diffuse the building tension. Empathize. Respect the feelings and beliefs of other speakers. Be kind, tactful, and understanding while listening to the other. Be sensitive to verbal and nonverbal cues. Listen not only to what is being said, but also to how it is said. Face-to-face communication allows the speaker the opportunity to use pitch, volume, intonation, and gestures to convey meaning. A critical listener is sensitive to the nuances of spoken language in interpreting messages. When the receiver and sender of the message come from different cultural backgrounds, the intended message, whether oral or written, is not always perceived correctly by the receiver. In oral communication, it is easier to engage in repair strategies to avoid breakdown in communication. Clarifications, further explanations, paraphrasing, even apologies can be made to avoid misunderstandings. However, written communication does not provide the sender of the message any of these options. Advertisements, which are written forms of communication, rely on text and images to convey meaning. These should be visually powerful through their use of color, imagery, and language that would elicit a strong emotional response from its target market. However, some advertisements have failed to achieve this goal because they did not take into consideration the culture of its target audience. Ferdinand de Saussure, a Swiss linguist, explains that every sign or symbol has two main components, the signifier and signified. The signifier may be an object, a word, or an image that represents a concept. Signified refers to the concept which the signifier refers to, and this would be the meaning that is drawn by the receiver of the sign. When the signifier in an advertisement is culturally offensive, it fails to achieve its goal. Colors and shapes do not have universal interpretation as well. For instance, while Westerners associate the color black with power, sophistication, and mystery, Easterners associate it with death, mortality, and stability. Cultural sensitivity is an awareness and acknowledgement of differences in cultures. In the world of business, failure to meet the expectations and needs of the intended audience from another culture often translates to financial loss and sometimes even strained diplomatic relations. Thus, for workplace communication in a multicultural setting to be effective, cultural sensitivity must be the norm.